Okay, so here's take 2 of the demo. This one will probably be a little more concise. So I have 2 monitors up right now, serial monitors. We have our main controller device and then a slave device, which is constantly sending 2 CAN messages back and forth. So one message, then the other, then the first, then the second, then the first, and the second. And those messages have different IDs and different data in them. This will also echo any messages that it receives from our main controller. So let me turn on the Arduino. And now we have our menu. So in the current controller test, we have 4 options, but of course there'll be more. This is just the test script. I spent the last 3 hours fixing the filtering because I ran into a bug that I couldn't figure out, and I am done with it for tonight because I've spent so much time trying to get it, but I did get it. So if you press 1, then it's just going to read out all the data in the order that it comes in at the speed that it comes in. You can adjust it if you want to add delays, if you're getting too many messages at once. However, if you delay it too much, then the buffer can fill up, so something to keep in mind. We can always just have it write to the SD card as well, which I imagine most people would want to do anyways. So it's showing us the full message, nothing really special to it. This is not incredibly useful aside from just seeing if it's overall working, but you're likely going to want to choose a specific ID from it. So next we'll go to the speed test. This is just going to average the messages per second. Currently I have it sending a message every 400 milliseconds, and that's why it's going between the two. So every 400 milliseconds it sends one or the other. Again, that's really just a testing feature. Now we'll get into the filtering, which I spent so much time on. So you can frame masks, or filtering masks. If you don't know what they are basically a function that lets you filter groups of messages depending on their ID, but their ID that spans across a section. So for example, if all of the 200 or 2 hex value IDs relate to a specific thing and you want all that data, then you can easily filter all of those. So 222, 210, 215. If you specify you want 2 here, then all of those will be able to come through instead of just one that you filter. If you want to filter just one specifically, which will be the case most of the time, you can just type 7FF, which is going to cover all the bits. I'm going to make this the default, so you can just press enter and skip over that, but currently it is not. Now you can enter the ID, the filter ID. So we'll start with 210, which is one of the 2, and it's going to filter out and still show you at the same speed that it was before, so this will be half speed since it's half the message is being sent. Now I'll show you the other message. And we have the same thing here. And I can show you the masks too. So if we type like 200 here, then it doesn't really matter which one I type here. It's going to basically be read all, but only for 200 messages. Alright, now to the more fun stuff, the write. So you enter your CAN frame ID in hexadecimal. So we'll do AB just for fun. Then the DLC, that's the data length code. This is how many bytes will be in your message. So most messages will be 8 bytes. but sometimes it's less. Very rarely, but if you want to only send a certain amount of information, this is the way to do it. We'll do 3 for simplicity. So now you can type the data for each byte. And I'm going to have it so that you can choose which format you want to type it. So if you want to type it in ASCII, you can. That'll be really good quality of life. So let's do 28, 4D, FF. Alright, now we locked in our message and we need to pick a write speed. So I decided to make it messages per second, but we can change this if need be. I think this is perfectly fine for testing. So we can make it go kind of fast at like 5 or 6. We'll do 6. And as you can see, it is sending 6 messages per second with our ID that we input, data length code, and the data itself. So this is just a quick overview of the testing code that's fully working, and you're able to test out anything on your end if you want. So yeah.